If you really want to know how to achieve your goals in 2026, there is something you need to understand first. Your goals didn't disappear. You slowly disconnected from them. Somewhere between setting them and now, the pressure got heavier, the excitement faded, showing up began to feel very difficult. Darling, that's how people never achieve their goals. Goals don't actually disappear. We slowly emotionally detach from them when they start requiring a version of us that we are not used to being yet. If I'm being honest with you, the real conversation is not about your goals. It's about how you respond to things when they stop feeling easy. Because that is where everything reveals itself. When it was fresh, when it was exciting, when you could imagine it clearly, you were all in. When life started asking you questions, like when life started asking you questions back, not with words, with pressure, delay, with moments where you didn't feel like showing up. And instead of seeing that as part of the process, a part of you step pulling back. It's not because you are lazy, it's not because you don't want more for yourself, but comfort has a way of making us question things we were once so sure about. And if we are not careful, we start mistaking this is hard for this is not for me. But let me explain goals in a way that will clock it for you. When you set goals, you are not just wishing, you are doing something very seriously. You are saying, this part of my life, I'm no longer leaving it to chance. That is powerful. But that's where people get frustrated because they begin to realize that they set the goals. Why is it becoming difficult? I need you to understand that goals will not just automatically present results to you, they will expose everything in you that is not ready for that result. Let's make it real. You say, I want a healthy relationship. Suddenly, you notice your toxic patterns. You are seeing red flags clearly. Certain people are walking away from your life. Now, you're obviously saying that why is it becoming difficult? Why is it getting worse? Darling, it is not getting worse. The veil has been removed. That moment right there, that is the storm. Some people see a challenge and they're like, I'll step back and I'll come back when it's easier. Sounds smart, but it's not. Because you can either stay, let it shape you, or you can step back, protect your comfort, and tell yourself, I will return later. And I get stepping back feels safe. It feels like you're giving yourself space. But, darling, what is actually happening is that when you run away from a challenge, you are not pausing your life, you are reversing it. You lose momentum, you lose energy, you lose the version of yourself that was building strength in that moment. Darling, here's the part people don't tell you. The same energy it takes to run from a challenge is the same energy you would have used to stay where you are. That's why you've been feeling like you're moving in circles. It's not because you are incapable. It's not because you are incapable. Sometimes it's because you are leaving the moment. You're walking away from the moment that was meant to grow you. Your goals were never just about getting something. They were about who you would have to become in order to hold it. And that's what nobody explains in a way that it lands. You can say you want more money, a better life, and a certain level of success. But do you understand the version of you that can sustain that? The discipline, the consistency, the self-trust, and the emotional control. Because when you set a goal, life doesn't just hand it to you. It starts building you into someone who can carry it without falling apart. It's slow sometimes, confusing, quiet. It doesn't look like progress the way we imagined, but that doesn't mean that nothing is happening. Let me be real with you for a second because I love you so much to not put you on surface level excuses. If you've been procrastinating, shifting things away further, procrastinating, it's just random procrastination, and you'll be pushing things off, it is not because you don't have time. It is deeper than that. It is avoidance. It is you stepping away from the storm because it's requiring a version of you that you are not used to giving yet. And darling, I'm not saying this to make you upset or make you feel bad, but I'm saying it so that you can see it. Because once you see it, you can be able to change it. That's awareness. Instead of looking at your goals and asking, why is it not working? I need you to begin to ask, what is this trying to teach me right now? Because you need to realize that your goals move in phases. Yes, your goals, they move in phases, whether you realize it or not. There is a phase where you just become aware. You are discovering things, you are figuring it out. You're discovering what you desire for yourself, you're figuring out what you want for yourself. You are learning, you're being exposed to what you want, you're learning those things. And sometimes it might feel rough, it might feel like everything is working against you, but why are you putting yourself under pressure when you're in the learning phase, when you're in the discovery phase, when you're being exposed to what like you want? It's like maybe you might have, you know what you desire, but yeah, like it's unveiling to you that okay, this is the truth behind what the step I need to go, this is what I need to learn to get what I want. So that awareness phase is being exposed. It's like the reality, your ideology is being like stripped off, and you're now like, oh, I'm learning this part, this thing I want. I'm understanding what I desire for myself. I'm being, I don't know if you get it. I'm being like aware. I'm figuring things out. And there is a phase where everything starts aligning. If you don't understand the phase you are in, you might misinterpret everything. You might be feeling like you are stuck when you don't know that you're just being prepared. You're working in alignment with structure. And you might be feeling stuck when you don't know that you're actually making progress. Another thing I need you to understand is that goals don't actually come the way we write them. They evolve, they stretch, they might take you to somewhere deeper and different. And if you're too rigid about how you want your goals to be, you might not actually realize that your goals are actually unfolding, because your goals might actually stretch into some aspect of your life. Your goals might actually like attract other aspect of things that are evolve into something else. Like they might stretch out into something else, they might evolve into something else, and you might feel like the goals have not come, but what you don't understand is that that goal stretch into the phase you are in right now. The moment you are in right now is what that goal actually has stretched to. It's like you are healing, right? You say you are working on healing, and all of a sudden you're realizing that your toxic relationship is like choking you, and all of a sudden you're realizing that you're no longer attracted, your aura doesn't attract unhealthy people around you. You don't realize that, oh, I was healing, but right now I'm actually facing how to like move away from the aura of unhealthy people. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. I don't know if that's a good point, but that doesn't mean that you lowered your standards or you lowered your expectations. Because when I set goals, I'm expecting God to blow my mind, to either give me what I desire or something more beautiful than I desire. So when goals begin to stretch and they begin to evolve and they begin to come in different aspects of our life, that doesn't mean that our standards are being like normal, like go down. No, it just means that it is stretching into another aspect of our lives that we need to keep learning, we need to learn, we need to keep growing, and from those aspects of our life the results will come further. I don't know if you get. I want to walk you through a few questions that I faced as a challenge when I was working with my goals, and when my goals were not really coming forth. I will walk through the questions with you guys, and I will give you my own answer. And if you have a solid answer to share with someone, please leave it down in the comment section. So these are the questions that I found I actually needed answers to when I was facing challenges with my goals. So I would answer them and I will ask you so that we can share our own opinion. I will go first. Number one, what are the real challenges behind setting a goals? I don't mean normal surface level things like I got distracted, I got busy, I got a job, I got kids, I got married. What are the real challenges? Because when setting a goal, yeah, it demands an aspect. It is us taking accountability of that aspect of our lives that we don't want to leave ourselves to chance. But we also realize that now that goals take an aspect of us that sometimes we're not ready to give in. Discipline, consistency, emotions, control, diligence. So what is that aspect of your life that your goals demanded from you that you're not actually ready to give in? That question is kind of very powerful for me because goals requires discipline, goals requires patience, goals requires structure, it requires a level of self-awareness, and most times we have not built those things, we have not grown in that aspect of our lives. That's the aspect of our lives where we don't take, like, to a certain point. So when our goals become heavier, it's just taking us to that part of our life where we have not taken charge of things. And that's where people think that goals are becoming heavy, goals are becoming like a lot of challenge. But it is actually bringing out the version of us that are not like that we're not like paying attention to. It's not because we can't achieve what we want. It's just like we're being stretched in an aspect of life that sometimes might not be consistent enough, might not be diligent enough, might not be persistent enough, we might not be emotionally ready for what we desire. And that's why I feel like goals is a challenge. So I think that's it. That leads to my next question. Number two, why do we even face challenges when it has to? Why do we set goals and why do we have to face challenges when we set goals? Goals, see, if we don't understand this aspect of life, we would misinterpret everything. If you don't get this aspect of your life, you misinterpret everything. You might actually be doing a lot and you might just feel like because you're not seeing progress the way you think you need to see progress, that you're not doing something. Goals actually move in phases. The way we learn in school is the way goals kind of works. And sometimes what works for somebody will not work for another person. Some of us have to go through the deep learning phase. Sometimes you might be in your learning phase, you might be getting exposed to what you desire for yourself. You might be you might be ripping off your old belief system and building a new belief system mentally, emotionally, that is kind of teaching you what you desire for yourself. It's like being exposed, stripping you off your old ideologies to make you understand that okay, this is what I believe for myself, this is the new normal. So once you understand the awareness phase, once you understand the learning phase, once you understand the alignment phase, sometimes goals will even delay. You might understand that sometimes if a goal is not coming when it's supposed to come, you need to understand that maybe that goal is not for that moment, maybe it's not for that season, because you cannot be expecting rain to fall when it's not time for rainy season. So you might just like leave that aside and build on something else. So understanding seasons and like phases when it comes to goal will make you understand that sometimes you might be making progress and it might not be looking like your progress might be looking like nothing. It might be slow, it might be steady, but you know you're getting somewhere. Particular aspect of life, most people might feel stuck because they're not seeing progress, they might be feeling like they're failing because they're not making progress. But you don't realize that your progress is actually, the slower the progress, the more stronger the result, the more stronger the legacy. I don't know if you get. So guys, I need to understand that your goals are actually working. Sometimes you need to like step back and see whether your goals has stretched into something, your goals has evolved into something, or your goals have just become something different but still in that same family. When all this is happening, it makes us to see whether our goals need to be adjusted, to be refined, or to be released, not from a place of failure but from a place of alignment, because not everything is meant to follow you to your promised land. Yes, sometimes we might have goals that we started with, but along the line we might just realize that it was not something that we actually wanted to still carry on. It was not from it was maybe from a place of pressure, from a place, because sometimes some goals we take are actually because goals actually bring us back to ourselves. Yes, goals kind of direct you back to yourself, because how will I put it without saying because? Because yeah, oh my god, I just said because again. Anyway, goals actually bring us back to ourselves, because sometimes we might desire something because of peer pressure, because of societal pressure, environmental pressure, family pressure, background pressure. So once we begin to learn about the things we desire for ourselves, we begin to understand what time frame is and where that pressure to want those things come from. I don't know if it comes. Sometimes the delay might be protection, the delay might be preservation, delay might actually be for us to see clearly what we actually desire. If you now begin to shift your mindset from chasing outcomes and start chasing the process of understanding, you begin to see something powerful, that you're actually where you are meant to be. You're actually making progress, because once you begin to have this store back of understanding, you build capacity, then whatever you want, you're actually welcoming. Yeah, you'll be healed enough to welcome what you want. Damn, that was good. Yes, because once you are able to build a capacity of understanding for what you desire, you'll be able to know where to place yourself, how to see yourself, how to carry yourself, how to attract what you want. So, guys, that was good. Damn, I enjoyed this topic. It was. I don't want to give a brag about this topic, but if you know what I went through for all this to be put together, you will definitely watch this video again. You share it with your friend, you will like, you will comment, and you subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I'm gonna give you back to back. So, guys, I remain your girl, Kelly Ifokwe. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.